Suddenly, a human comes to its aid, skillfully operating an excavator with pinpoint accuracy, rescuing the baby from the sticky situation. And in this video, you'll see how an excavator was similarly used to rescue a bear. When a baby deer fell down and got stuck in a fence, the mother struggled to free its baby, but these people heard the screams of the young fawn and came to their rescue. After a long mission, the baby deer was finally free and could reunite with his grateful mother.
Baby's okay. Baby's okay. No one wants to hurt her. There you go.
When an exhausted camel was seen collapsed on the side of the road in the middle of the Algerian desert, this truck driver stopped to provide water to the thirsty animal. When this calf fell into a canal with very strong currents, it seemed sure that it would drown, and if it wasn't for this brave man who risked his life, it certainly would not have survived. When a cat fell into the water, it seemed impossible that it would be able to get out. But thankfully, this man came up with a creative idea and saved the poor animal. We've all seen adorable little ducklings struggling to keep up with their mothers, so when these two ducklings couldn't jump up on the curb to follow their mama, they were lucky this kind man was willing to help. This family went on their daily beach walk where their dogs love to take a swim, but they didn't expect something would go horribly wrong today. One of the dogs suddenly slipped below the surface and was about to drown. But thanks to the owner's quick response, the dog was saved at the very last moment. This squirrel was so stricken by heat stroke that it barely had any strength left in its body when suddenly a gracious man brought the squirrel some much needed water. The squirrel was so grateful for his kind gesture, he didn't want to leave the man's side. Sometimes we underestimate the intelligence of animals just because we can't communicate with them. But in fact, a lot of animals are very smart. Just like this sea turtle. Not only did it realize it had something on its back that it couldn't get rid of itself, but also figured out that a human could be its savior. So it approached this diver and asked for help, and luckily, it was the right decision. When this husky pup choked on his food, it caused his heart to stop beating. But this kind-hearted man did everything he could to save him. This stray dog was wandering around an industrial site when it fell into molten rubber and became stuck in the toxic mixture with only its mouth poking out for air. Workers followed the screams of the dog and spent 2 hours getting it out. When 2 locals were driving in Kazakhstan, where the temperature had reached minus 58 degrees Celsius, they spotted a roe deer quietly standing with his head down. The deer's muzzle was completely encased in ice and snow, and the animal could hardly move or see anything. But instead of just passing by like many would, they stopped and spent just a few minutes of their lives in order to save the life of this helpless deer.
Не, глаза.
This man in Pakistan put his life in danger to rescue an injured pigeon drowning in the water. Thanks to these guys' epic rescue mission, the pigeon was able to fully recover from its injury and continue its life. During wildfires, it's the animals that suffer the most. When this massive blaze had finally gone out, this woman went out in search of animals that needed help and found a little kangaroo with burned hands who was crying for help. And how about this goat whose horns got stuck in electric cables? The footage is simply heartbreaking, clinging to a ladder that the goat knows its life depends on. Even after the rescue team freed the goat, it stuck around, looking back at its saviors again and again, as if to say, "Thank you."